30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame coach Watson Brown, and Young Guns Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It is, what would we describe this as? Cloudy, overcast, might rain, might not rain. Either way, it's a Thursday afternoon. We got a lot of things going on, a lot of football, a lot of hockey, a lot of you name it. We've got it. So welcome in. We're going to have a good show for you today. As is the case at all times during football season, we begin with Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update, brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that is absolutely possible. So dial Lori up, 615-969-4350. Let's check in with Terry McCormick, Main Street Media. Terry, bye week. I'm guessing they're about through and going to be let home for the weekend, wherever that may be. So what's the news?
Well, they went through practice this week, and today was the last day of that work, and they will head home to all their different parts that where they want to spend the bye week, and they're supposed to be back in town ready to go on Tuesday. So it'll be, a nice little four-day weekend or whatever for the players to have off and to kind of, revive themselves. George, I'm going to take this in a direction that really nobody has taken it yet, but I think it's a very viable option for them. And this whole quarterback situation with getting Malik Willis and Will Levis up to speed this week and then trying to decide on a starter. George, I think when Mike Vrabel said the other day he didn't know who was going to start against the Falcons, I think there's a good chance he was telling the truth. And I think that with that said, I think there's a possibility that they may have to get both of these guys first-team reps next week as they get ready to go against the Falcons, just to continue to try and make this decision. And then here's the other thing, too, that you have to keep in mind. Let's say you start Malik Willis and he reverts back to 2022 Malik Willis of holding the ball too long and, being indecisive in the pocket, taking sacks. You got to pull the plug on that quickly. And if you do, you got to have Will Levis ready to go and knowing what to do and having had the practice reps and the experience of the last 2 weeks to get ready for that situation. And then on the other hand, if you decide to start Will Levis, which I think a lot of people are leaning toward and think that that's what they probably should do, if he comes out and he's not ready for the moment and he's clearly in over his head like Willis was last year, like Rusty Smith was, like Matt Monk was back in the day, you've got to have another option ready to go, and you've got to have that guy completely ready, completely prepared, and having had his share of the reps during the week to get ready for this game. I don't think this is like a normal Titans preparation week where Ryan Tannehill would get 95% of the reps and the other two guys are left to sit there and watch and try to figure it out on their own. They've got to get both of these guys coached up completely and have both of them ready to go.
Okay. I'm with you on that certainly these are the kind of things that have to happen in preparation for this. But if you are, help me with this, OTAs, mini camps, passing camps, you've had both of them in here and you still don't really have a feel, whose fault is that?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. I just think that, given that they didn't get a fair look at Will Levis during preseason like they wanted to, I think that they have to hedge their bet with this. I think most of us would say give Will Levis his shot. Let's see what he looks like. He's a rookie. He's going to have to be thrown out there at some point to see what you have and to see if he can be the answer long term for the future. But if you put him out there and he's not ready for the moment, you've got to have Malik Willis ready to go. And the same thing if you put Malik Willis out there, George, and he reverts back and he hasn't shown marked improvement from what he gave you last year and from what he gave you on Sunday, you got to be able to insert Will Levis in quickly. I think this whole thing, it's an unusual situation. You usually don't have two guys with that little experience on the same roster, vying to be your backup quarterback and your quarterback of the future. I guess the only situation that I can, recall recently that's kind of like that was out in San Francisco, where Rand Carthon came from, where they had, targeted Trey Lance to be the quarterback of the future, for a period of 2 or 3 years. Then all of a sudden they take a flyer on Brock Purdy with the last pick in the draft. He turns out to be the answer to what they are looking for. And then all of a sudden Trey Lance is yesterday's news and he's shipped off to Dallas for a mid-round pick. So it's interesting, the situation here that the Titans find themselves in, trying to figure out which one of these guys they need to go forward with.
Okay, let me again play devil's advocate. They were doing the same thing with Logan Woodside. They didn't have the foggiest clue whether if he had ever had to go into a game where it mattered, because Tannehill never got hurt. They had no clue what Logan Woodside could or couldn't do.
No, you're absolutely right. But they didn't spend a high draft pick on Logan Woodside either. They've traded up for a third rounder in Willis, traded up for a second round pick in Levis. So they have draft capital invested in both of these guys. Not that that matters once they're here, because everybody is kind of on equal footing in certain terms. But when it's a quarterback, and when it's a quarterback who's a relatively high draft pick, the stakes are a little bit higher.
I feel like this is a soap opera. So are the days of our lives.
As the quarterbacks turn.
Yeah. Terry, let's see. Same place, but not same time tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it, as always.
See ya.
Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update, brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She wants to be your mortgage lady, and through the folks at USA Mortgage, that absolutely can happen. So dial her up, 615-969-4350. Weighing in on the subject, no doubt, is Kelly Holcomb, who stands by in Murfreesboro. Kelly, you've listened to this. I know you've got an opinion or two.
Yeah, well, I know some of the folks that were tweeting in earlier in the year was like, "Hey, give up the quarterback thing because it's one of these guys." And the worst things happen right now for the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill's gone down, and you really have no experience behind him. I'm with Terry with that. I think you've got to get them both ready, and I know that he said that. So I think that's the case, because I'm not sure that they really know what they've got with either one of them so far. And I think he was probably telling the truth when he said that. We don't know who's going to start, and I think it's probably going to be an open competition. And they're probably going to have. I guess they got practices this week, do they not? They've got practices.
I think through today. So,
yeah,
and then they come back next week. So let me just put you on the spot. Who do you think they should start?
Well, I think you've seen what Malik Willis can do. I think you just jump in the boat and put Will Levis in there for me. But I don't know if they want to do that. And I don't know if I'm not in the rooms. I'm not in the meetings, George. I'm not at the practices. So I don't know what they're seeing. We can only go what we saw in college. And college and pros are totally different. We know that. And you don't want to mess up a kid's confidence. You really don't. And that's why I asked Terry yesterday about the deal with Mike Vrabel. Did he really? I know he's not going to tell the owner, but he might have kind of set her up for this. Might be a tough year for us. We don't have the pieces in place, and we've gotten so bad, and whose fault is that? I mean, that's, he's probably going to blame it on John Robinson, but I mean, he's in the meetings as well. So I think he probably got her ready for that. And then just with the team that they've got right now and they can't block, I'm not sure that they want to put him in and mess with his confidence as well. But what better way to get him in and to see what he can do and see if I think at this point, you want to see somebody who's going to fight, George, who's going to compete each and every snap. And if you got somebody that's willing to compete and willing to lay it out there, then you can work off that and then you can create guys around him. But I think if it's for me, if you're putting me up against a wall and telling me, hey, this is what you got to do, let's see Will Levis. I don't know what Malik Willis gives you at this point. You put him in the other day, and it was kind of – I think he's gotten better, but, is the better good enough? I'm just not sure of that. So I would want to see what the young guy's going to do.
I agree. I mean, first off, are the Titans prepared for this situation? Heading into this season, we knew Ryan Tannehill was going to get hurt. I mean, that's who he is. It's every year.
Now, hold on. It's not his fault.
No, I'm not saying
he's getting the crap kicked out of him.
No, and I'm not saying it's his fault, but we're going to see if the Titans had a plan for this because and this is nothing against Tannehill. They should have known, okay, this is probably likely, a likely scenario. So we're going to see if what their plan is. Is it to start Levis? I think we might see – you could see Levis start, but you have the quick plug, and then you're probably right now a little bit more confident with Willis.
In fairness to them, whatever plan they may have had got derailed when he got hurt in training camp.
When
Will Levis got hurt.
Will Levis,
the ability to get some read on him in preseason, if all you do is have him hand off, you don't learn much.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He couldn't play for a couple of games. That hurt him tremendously.
I am with Kelly, though. I think you go with Levis.
I'm totally there.
I mean,
look,
there's no more
if you have the kind of year I think they're going to have, and I've gone on the record as saying this is a 7-10 football team. Who's kidding who? They're not winning the division. They're not good enough. And if you go through something like a 7-10 and you don't know anything about Will Levis, you're a fool.
I'm totally there, George. I really am. Plus, you scout these guys. You got guys that go in the building at Kentucky. You got guys that do all these aptitude tests, and you put them through workouts, and you get them through the trainer, and you see what's going on. They know maybe not on a professional level, but they have to sort of know what they've got with him. And I know he played kind of injured his senior year, and I don't think a lot of people knew how much he was hurting. But you have to have an inkling or an idea of what the guy can do. And here's the time. I mean, let's go see what we got. Let's put him out there. We know what we've got with Malik Willis. Like I said, I think he's gotten better, but is his better good enough? And right now, he came in last week, and did you see anything different from what he did in London that he did last year?
Yeah, I don't think so. Throw Levis out there. And what if he goes out there and plays really well? If you don't, you never know. I mean, this could be that preseason time, even though it's regular season for Levis. But
okay. Do you have an update?
I do.
Good. Rumble through it.
I've got an update, and we've got an NFL game tonight. Jags at the Saints. The Saints are 2-point favorites, 7:15 tonight. Trevor Lawrence is expected to start despite his knee injury. So good news for them.
Wait a minute, because earlier today I read game time decision.
Well, I mean, he may expected to start. That could mean.
Yeah, but when I have to give people.
Billy, are you going on the record?
I mean, I saw this today. I don't really know what else to say.
Where are you getting that off? Wikipedia? That's not correct.
TMZ?
That's not correct either.
So are you telling people
blasted in the middle of the update?
What are you telling people, George?
I'm telling people to take Jacksonville.
Okay, how does Lawrence playing affect that?
It affects it a hell of a lot.
No, but you if you picked him,
right?
That probably means you assuming.
Then
he's
I
playing.
won't be here tomorrow.
Oh,
keep
man.
going.
We've also Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson.
He didn't expect that answer, did he?
Oh no.
Deshaun Watson is expected to return to the practice field today after missing the past couple of games with a shoulder injury. So he is up in the air as to whether he'll be able to play.
Yes, game time
against the Colts.
decision.
Game time decision.
Yeah, there's several of those going on.
Yeah. Astros beat the Rangers last night 8-5. Texas leads that series 2-1. Max Scherzer gave up 5 earned runs.
Yeah, and he didn't really look ready. Now, his velocity was there. His command was not.
No.
Correct.
No, correct. Phillies
Trevor Lawrence just text you?
Yeah, he said he's playing.
Did he? Yeah. If he doesn't, that's on Billy. Do not call me if he doesn't play. I'll give you Billy's number if you'd like.
He's
Please
playing.
do.
Area
Please
code
do.
615.
George is creating controversy out of nothing right now. Phillies now lead that series 2-0 over the D-backs, and Ranger Suarez taking the mound for the Phillies tonight.
I know all about him.
Fans are down on the D-backs heading into tonight's game, though. StubHub has get-in prices for $17 at Chase Field tonight.
Soft
Tick pick.
market to begin with.
But they're really,
I mean, they've gotten pummeled in Philly.
Yeah.
They've taken on water,
they've taken on some
much
water.
as you have.
It takes off a lot. He takes on a lot of water at times, George.
What's? I don't like this attitude today.
Well, you're just going to have to deal with it. I mean, you were the one that said Trevor Lawrence is expected to play, and I don't know if you know that or don't know that.
Well, I saw that today on Twitter.
But Kelly wanted to know where you saw it.
All right,
TMZ, Wikipedia. Anyway, anything else? I know we got to run here in just a second.
Oh, do we have to run?
From my foolishness, yes.
NHL, Preds Rangers tonight, 6 o'clock, Madison Square Garden. Preds looking for their second win.
Boy, they could use a win.
College football, the NCAA has opened up an investigation into Michigan over possible rule breaking around in-person scouting of opponents.
What this is they are so mad at Jim Harbaugh, they have found somebody to go after.
Yeah. They're trying to get him.
Oh, they want to string him up.
They're trying to get him.
Yeah, that's not a game time decision.
Game time decision.
No, it isn't. Okay, after the break, Predators general manager, I almost said head coach, but I did that for 17 years, and by way of habit, it keeps happening. Predators general manager Barry Trotz will join us after the break. As Billy mentioned earlier, big game tonight at Madison Square Garden against a very tough opponent in the Rangers. If they could win, suddenly this Godzilla 5-game start to the season where they have played really tough competition wouldn't look all that bad. Let's get a win. We're back after this.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from, and for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5685.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonleyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? We still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
You all heard me a few minutes ago. I almost slipped and said Predators head coach Barry Trotz. Well, 16, 17 years of that. It happens. He now, of course, is the Preds general manager, and he joins us by phone. Barry, are you there?
Phones are struggling.
Okay,
George.
apparently he's not, even though I know he has been. We'll get him in here in just a second. Kelly, the first thing I want to ask him is, as a GM, do you watch a game any differently than you did when you were a head coach?
I do.
There he
I
is.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really have to. I think from a standpoint, I think the advantage that I have is I still can watch it as a coach, but I think I have to have a broader view as well and watch it as a general manager. Obviously, I'm still recognize the systems. I know when guys mess up, because I know the systems. I don't know if all general managers really are in tune to the systems like I might be, just because of the coaching background and stuff that has interested me over the last 40 years. But at the same time, I'm trying to watch the progression of our play, how we're playing, who's playing well, and trying to have a neutral eye.
Barry, I always thought when you were a coach, you had a great rapport with players. Do you talk to players, or is that almost for you an off limits, and that's Andrew Brunette's thing?
Well, I think I'm going to be who I am, George. I think I still got a good rapport with the players. I don't try to overstep my bounds with Andrew in terms of systems or anything like that. But talking to players, I think that's something that my vision of general managers. I'm still in a partnership. As I said, when I was coaching, I'm in a partnership with my players. Now I'm in a partnership with my players and the coach. And I think it's a little bit different, but at the same time, I don't talk systems with them. I won't do that. That's Andrew's area. But I will talk about responsibilities as a human or a teammate to them, and my expectations as a general manager, where a guy is in his growth curve. Example being, say, a young player who is a young player, maybe has played a couple of years, and the first couple of years you get the privilege of hiding behind the veteran players. Expectations probably aren't as high, and then you cross over into the next phase of you're a responsible player. You're still playing with the younger and the older players, but you have to carry a little bit more of the load. So just recognizing when those players sort of transition over, or I think they should be transitioning over, I will let them know. I think that's part of my responsibility as a general manager, to see the big picture where they are in their growth pattern.
Is this as much fun as coaching?
It is in some ways, but I can tell you there's nothing like being on the bench on game day, and in the game, in the chaos, in the emotion, all that. That's the part that's probably removed. The other stuff, in terms of trying to build a team, relationships, long-term forecasting, all that, that is a really, I'll say, a really enticing thing to me. I love that, to build something. But I don't know if I have the coach doesn't have a lot of patience. So as a general manager, you have to learn patience. And I think that's going to be my biggest struggle.
Okay, people know right now you've come off a really tough one 2 nights ago against an incredibly talented Edmonton. Forget that it's 1-3 right now. How certain are you, how confident are you that the path you all have laid out is absolutely the right thing?
I'm very confident in that. I can tell you, analytically and just with the visual eye, that we could be easily 3-1, but we're not. That's the reality. I've coached. Example, the other night against Edmonton, if you were just to passively watch the game and see the score 6-1, you would say, man, Edmonton absolutely dominated the Nashville Predators. Well, that wasn't the case at all. Actually, analytically, we would have been 4 goals better. Their goaltender had a good night. Our team did not have a fortunate night. We've got to get our special teams in order. Out of the first 3 games, we gave up 7 goals. We gave up 4 power play goals and 2 penalty shot goals and an empty net. So our 5-on-5 game, to me, is as good as it has been. Stylistically, we play a lot faster. We spend less time in our end. And I think we've outshot the opponent in all 4 games, which I don't remember that happening in a long time, as people around me in my inner circle have told me about the play. So I definitely know we're going in the right directions. But what the Achilles heel for us right now is special teams. And if our special teams were even in the first 3 of the first 4 games, I know we'd have a couple more wins.
How does that get fixed? I don't pretend to know. I know a lot more about special teams in football. In hockey, how do you go about making it better?
Well, I think obviously it's a little bit of coaching guys up a little bit. The funny thing is about special teams, on both sides, it's a little bit of confidence. I would say on the penalty kill side, it is a little bit about confidence and commitment, and a little bit of being fortunate. And you're going to have to get some saves from your goalie, because there's good power plays. Power plays are up by probably 6%. When we talked about a power play being 20% in the National Hockey League, say 10 years ago, that was, you're in the top 2 or 3 in the league. Now 30% is more the the standard around the league. So obviously the penalty kill takes the hit if the power plays around the league are way up. So You've got to fix it up. It's about stick position. It's about commitment. It's about getting a little bit of luck in terms of, getting that the one-timer that maybe gets through it instead of going in, it hits the post or it hits a leg on the way in. On the power play, it's about execution. It's about the pace, how quickly you move the puck. We've got a lot of double clutching right now, so that's a little bit of confidence. Looking for the perfect play. But you got to have some of those elite shooters. I think we have some good shooters, guys like Philip and that. But I know I've got to coach a couple of elite shooters, and a guy like Alex Ovechkin. I mean, the puck comes off his stick way quicker than it does maybe a Philip Forsberg, and that could be the difference between going 2 for 4 in a night versus 1 for 4 is the execution and being able to get the shot off and finding a hole through it. So you just got to work on it. It's reps, it's confidence, it's all that.
Kelly, have you and Barry dealt with each other before?
I've never met Mr. Trotz. I have not. I'm interested to see, because I was when I was in Buffalo, I became a Buffalo Sabres fan and went to some games, and I really enjoyed the games.
Well, hold on. Before you go there, Barry, this is Kelly Holcomb, who played 13 more years in the NFL than I did.
I know exactly who he is.
Well, if you've seen George, you know that he was not going to have that kind of career.
Nice.
I got a question for you, Coach. I can still call you Coach. Sorry, but what is your different hats? You went from a head coach to GM. What in your own words? What is the biggest difference from being a head coach to a GM?
Well, I would say as a head coach, you are married to the schedule. You're married to the games. You're married to the players, and a very defined time frame. I think as a general manager, you're married to the team. You're married to the players, the coach, but you're also married to the situation. Whatever comes up on a daily basis. And then you're also married to the future. Future being you're married to your scouting staff, your pro scouts, your amateur scouts, your development team, giving you all that information and trying to process it in a bigger situation. I would say the GM is probably you can never put your phone down, put it that way, because you always have to be on alert. Even if you try to take a vacation, you're always on alert. Where I think in a coaching situation, the season ends and you get some time off and you get to get a mental break a little bit. But you're always, I think the GM you're always looking at the broader picture, where as a coach you're looking at the next day, the next game, the next win.
So as a GM, while you were at head coach, is there like something that has been a huge surprise to you, where as a head coach you never thought about that you'd have to do as a GM? Is there something in that area that you didn't think about?
Yeah, well, as a coach, just dealing with negotiations, you never have to, as a coach, you get the players. You don't really have to negotiate and cut deals with players for salary or anything like that. That's the biggest thing for me, is that you are negotiating on selling a player to another general manager, or the agent selling his player to you, and then you using the information that you have, and also negotiating back without maybe we're negotiating with a player that we signed last year, for instance, and I have to walk a fine line probably as a general manager, saying this is where I think his worth is. This is his comparables. This is where I think he will go, in terms of growth, where you might have a different opinion from the agent. The agent, their players are always going to be the best. They're always going to have a pop, as we say in the business, at a higher maybe level than you might see it. So just that type of thing, where I think with negotiations, I'm pretty cut and dry in terms of that, and And hey, let's get a deal. This is fair. Let's do it. Sign on the line where, agents will go, we're not doing that, or we think he's worth more. And then you're waiting, and you might, you make a call next day. We're still standing pat. So just getting things done that sometimes seems like it takes a longer process than I originally thought. But, as I get my GM's rhythm, like I did my coach's rhythm, I think I'll get more comfortable with it.
Gotcha. So what is the key ingredient for you as a player? Like what is the thing that you're a stickler for on the players that you're looking at?
Well, I think the biggest thing, I've said it to our scouts, and I'll say it to everybody, our fan base, I want to get faster. I want to get more skilled. I think the game is going that way. I believe that you still can have a balance in terms of playing good offensively and good defensively. Yeah, you're in football. I've been using this analogy with everybody in Nashville, is that we've been more of a running team, and I'm asking our team to become a passing team. Well, we still have players that are built for the running game, if you will. And I'm asking to play more of a passing game. So there's a transition. I've also told our scouts that, going forward, I want to see us, skating as a premium, skill as a premium. I can find the character guys. I can find the guys that have a high desire and maybe limited skills. I always said to the scouts, I want a player to have a separation skill, and hopefully it's in the area of, or two separation skills in the area of speed and skill. And we'll find the character. If a player's got the questionable character, then we'll go in a different direction. But we'll find high character people that can play in those, I'll say, in the bottom of your lineup. But you can't get those high skilled game changers, just pure on character. Sometimes you gotta, it's okay if a guy's not really easy to handle. Usually they're high skilled guys, just like it is in any sport. The guys that move the needle, they're not the easiest to handle all the time. And I think it's okay if a guy's outside the box a little bit.
Gotcha. So my last question is this: is there, looking up and down your roster, has there been any surprises for you? I know y'all do all this scouting and y'all do all your homework on these guys, but has there anybody that's a pleasant surprise to you so far?
Well, I think, and more in our young kids, I think the people that are already on the roster, we have a good handle, and I don't think there's any big surprises. I'd probably say a couple of guys more I thought it would be easier for them to transition from that, a young player to that next level player this early, but we're only 4 games into the season, so I know in football terms that's almost a quarter of a season, but in hockey terms we're a long ways away from the end. So, but I think what you see is give some people examples. Is last year a guy like Luke Evangelista, for instance, and a guy like Phil Tomasino, they were playing in Milwaukee all year. They were the big dogs, if you will. They were handling the puck. They were running the power play. They were playing all the important minutes, yada, yada, yada. And then now they've had a full training camp. They've started at the same sort of places, the veteran guys, and they're struggling out of the gates a little bit. They haven't been able to put up points. They haven't been as consistent as you had thought. And that's because they have just the same amount of handles, same amount of touches as everybody else, where they were top guys, 60 games into their regular season. They came up at the end of the season. They had all their confidence. They had all that. Everything fell into place for them, and it became a little bit easier for them. I can tell you this: the NHL is absolutely ruthless. If you don't have your game in order or all your tools in your toolbox, it will chip at your confidence. It will take your confidence away and all that. So it's very important to surround your kids and make good decisions on when to bring them up.
Barry, first of all, thank you for taking the time to come on with us. if ever you feel like you need some advice, feel free to come up to 304 row 1, because where I sit, they give advice up there for free, and they do it every night.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get it. Hey,
Oh,
I can give the best advice from the upstairs now. I am so smart. It is unbelievable.
I believe it.
Yeah, it is. I've been very fortunate to be in this game a long time, and I've had the pleasure of coaching in Nashville and with a wonderful organization. Now I get to be the general manager in a wonderful organization, and our fan base. Yourself, we've got a relationship for 30 years, George.
Gosh.
You're probably the first interview I ever did. So, all that being said, we're going to have some pain on the way, but there's no better way to build something than to build it with the fan base, the people, the city of Nashville, and people like yourself, George.
Can't wait. The people in that building are thrilled you are back. Barry, thank you for the visit.
Anytime, George.
That's Predators general manager. I got it right this time, Barry Trotz. And I will say this. This guy knows exactly what he is doing. I think he made fabulous moves in the offseason, some of which were addition by subtraction, which is not always an easy thing. But I think he came in here knowing exactly what needed to be done. And I, for one, am excited about him being here. After the break, we're going to get Kelly's thoughts on 3 or 4 of the best college games of the weekend. Please stick around.
Forget the fact that Sir Speedy Music City is owned by my BGA classmate James Warren. Their work stands on its own merit. James and his staff do incredible work, as evidenced by the huge banners at the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. If you're looking for quality to help your marketing and business communications, and you want it at a reasonable price, these are your folks. Call them at 615-832-9511 or go to print at sirspeedymusiccity.com. And be sure to tell them Plaz sent you.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank and Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank and Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank and Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Before we show you 4 big games around the country, and it's a good weekend of games, there's some good stuff. Kelly, one thing I'm noticing is that the scores, the number of points
Way
being
down.
scored on the college level is down. On the pro level, it's down.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you right now
Just-
because
Okay, let's
defensive,
hear it.
Is it just random? I mean,
no, because defenses have gotten really good. I mean, you look at the pros, you look at the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys,
More
the
athletic.
New York Jets. I mean, those guys up front, it's getting to the point where
Yeah.
they can get so much pressure on you that it's amazing. And then there's just not like this is a problem that I had when I was in Cleveland. Like we would pass up on offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are a lot like defensive linemen. Defensive linemen are like a dime a dozen. Offensive linemen, when you find one, you've got to draft him and you've got to hold on to him. There's not many good offensive linemen out there anymore, and guys want their names in the paper. They don't want to be an offensive lineman that just sits back and, hey, we just protect the quarterback and run. We want to go sack the quarterback. So it's just like I'm watching now. Like there's other teams like the Miami Dolphins can do it. There's the Buffalo Bills, my old team. They're really good defensive football in both the NFL and the NCAA. Man, they're playing. They've got guys that can run, that are big, that are physical, and just you look at what Ole Miss. And I know we're talking about Ole Miss, but Ole Miss is averaging like 75 plays a game, but that's like 50th nationally. I mean, I think Lane Kiffin's been up there in the top 5 every year that he's coached. So I know that Alabama put a squashatus on that with only allowing them like 65 plays a game, but I just think that defenses are getting much more talented, much bigger, much faster, much more physical, and I think they're dominating offenses right now.
those edge rushers. I mean, we talked about James Pierce.
Crazy.
I mean, that guy's a freak. There's more and more freaks
Crazy
on the edge. And I don't know. The quarterbacks aren't as good. But you narrow down the SEC. I think that's a part of it too this year. The quarterback. I mean, you got Jaden Daniels, but there aren't many go-to guys.
I'll give you one in gambling. You've heard because I've used it every once in a while. The 2-team teaser.
Yep.
2-team teaser has more value with less points being scored.
So
you give a person 6 points to put wherever they want.
Yeah.
And if there are less total points being scored, that teaser's got more value.
Mm-hmm. Teasers have
I
been
think I think a lot of it too, guys, is everybody's catching up with this spread type offense because everybody's doing it. So
RPO.
it's taken a couple of years. It's taken a couple of years to figure that stuff out. Plus, the coaches are going to these referees like it's virtually impossible to run an RPO in the National Football League. You're down the field 1 yard, they're calling you down the field. It happened the other night in that game where I think one of the linemen he was barely downfield. They called it, and these college coaches are starting to figure that out too. Like, you can't go downfield, you can't be blocking downfield and then throw a pass. And I think the defenses is kind of caught up to this new wave of offensive football.
By the way, I just got a call from the United States. Thanks for that. Okay, let's look at the big games. There are people out there, and I'm not one of them, who believe that Penn State is going to Columbus and win. And Kelly, a lot of it is the belief that they have the best front four defensively in America, and that they are going to rattle.
I've heard that about so many different teams.
Yeah, they're going to rattle Kyle McCord. Do you buy that at all?
They could. You look at it. Ohio State's got the number 3 scoring defense in the country. Penn State has the 2nd scoring defense in the country. So they're really good. Both teams are really good up front. Ohio State's always been that way. Penn State, for some reason, though, just like James Franklin can't get over that. They can't beat Ohio State. And it's in Columbus. Yeah, they could rattle Kyle McCord a little bit, but I just don't see it happening. Like, you've got to – they've still got some really good receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., the other kid, I can't pronounce his name, but they've always got guys outside. They've always been a thorn in Penn State's side. I think Penn State's beat them one time. Is it one time since James Franklin's been there?
I don't think Franklin's beaten them.
Oh, I think they beat them in a whiteout.
Okay,
yeah, they did beat them. They beat them one time because they blocked the field goal and then they ran it back. Yes,
that's right.
So I think he's only beat them one time. So I just don't see it happening, George. But yeah, anything can happen, and that's what makes college football is so exciting now, because I think with the parity and with the transfer portal, I think everybody's kind of on the same. There's really no dominant team. So it wouldn't surprise me if Penn State goes in there, but you've got to get over that mental block of beating Ohio State. And I just don't think they can do it, George.
Let's rumble through these. Early in the week, I was dead certain it's Alabama. No, I'm not so certain.
Coming around.
This is, because I can see a scenario, Kelly, where Tennessee's defense puts a real clamp on Alabama.
I do too. I think defensively Tennessee's really good. I think if Alabama does not load the box, maybe they don't feel like they have to load the box, but if they don't make Joe Milton beat you, shame on them. And I'm sure that Nick Saban will do that, but they're going to play their game. And Tennessee beat them last year. I think it's kind of a revenge game for Alabama, but I think it's a very favorable matchup for Tennessee. I didn't think that last week against Texas A&M, and then they ran the ball down Texas A&M's throat. And you can carry a run game on the road, just like Ole Miss is going to carry their run game on the road against Auburn. I think if Tennessee's able to run the football, I think they can stay in this game, and I think they can win it for a second year in a row.
I think Alabama's crowd is going to play a huge factor. They're going to be fired up. They haven't had to care about this matchup up until what happened last year.
They care now.
They care now. It's like Georgia last year. Georgia fans are kind of, the wine and cheese type of SEC crowd. They're loud, but they showed another level when Tennessee came to town last year. I think Alabama fans are going to be ready to roll, and you'll be hearing a lot of, this is the loudest I've ever heard Bryant Denny, and I think it's going to be tough on Tennessee. They might still win. I can't get a read on this. I still don't know. I'll probably make a pick before the end of the week, but
I'd be confused.
Yeah.
Third game. I have to know if Riley Leonard is playing to believe that Duke has any chance.
And I don't think it's looking good.
I don't think it is either. Thus, right-hand check mark.
That's the whole thing in this game. I mean, if he doesn't play, he's an NFL-type quarterback. If he doesn't play, Duke has no shot. Sorry. Jordan Travis, he's got 1,472 yards already, 13 touchdowns through the air. He's a really good player. They've got 2 wide receivers that are really good. Yeah, Duke has no shot if he doesn't play.
the fourth game.
Interesting.
I give Auburn a real shot in this one.
I do too.
Well, it's at Jordan Hare, so you got to give them a shot. They're going to have the 2 quarterback deal going on with the Ashford kid and the Thorne kid again. Like I said, though, Ole Miss can run the football. They want to go fast. I think Auburn, Hugh Freeze always wants to go fast, but I don't think with this team, I think he's probably going to try to slow this game down and try to make it muddy and keep Ole Miss's offense on the sideline over there. The Dark kid's playing really well, throwing the ball better than I thought he could. He runs the ball really well, which I don't like as a quarterback, but he can do it. And they got some couple of running backs at Ole Miss, so they can control the game, and a run game travels. It don't matter where you are. So Auburn can get in this game, but I just don't see them doing that this year.
This is Hugh Freeze's Super Bowl.
Could be. Let me put all his eggs into a basket.
He is putting all of his chips in the middle of the table, and he might get them. I don't know if it happens, but he is going to get close.
On that screen, Kelly, I would X out Duke, Florida State, and put Clemson at Miami in there.
I knew I was missing.
Yeah.
I think Miami, as a dog, wins at home against Clemson.
Because it's in South Florida, am I not mistaken? It's at Miami.
And this will be one of the few times where their crowd makes a difference.
Miami's
I'm
crowd?
telling you, they might make a big difference.
I don't know.
You watch.
They could. Clemson's down this year. They're not the Clemson. I don't know if Clemson's coming back. Like if Dabo is not willing to be part of the transfer portal era, he's going to get left behind.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see.
So after the break, we'll go stat of the day, where we've had a small modicum of success this week. Modicum. There's a word that I don't even
know
out.
Is that a
I don't even know what the hell it means.
Is that a made up word?
Yes.
Cosell used to use modicum a lot.
Oh, is that right?
But here is a late development. Okay. Willy, who is in New York to do the Ranger game, sort of gave us a little hooty snooty, a little too busy. And thus
we can't do it.
And thus a replacement player is in there today. Chase McCabe, who has his own microphone.
Chase is coming on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Willy a little too good for us.
I think Willy needs to be kicked off.
Well, we'll discuss it.
We'll take this up
next
with the board.
time. Absolutely. The board of directors meeting. Stay tuned. We got plenty more coming. Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. So who said I can't be a golfer? Well, you know what? This is X Golf, located just down the road from the Fordyce Center in Bellevue. This is fun. It'll improve your golf game, and you need to stop in and check it out. 8138 Sawyer Brown Road, and who knows, I may get to 200 before it's all over.
All right, I'm here with my buddy Chip Ward from Lincoln Home Loans. And Chip, it's football season, and it feels like it's moving season every time of the year, especially here in Nashville. Tell us about your business, Chip, and kind of introduce people to who you are and what you do here in the Nashville area.
Well, you're exactly right, Billy. It is definitely moving season, as it is most times, especially right here after Labor Day. Kids are back in school, and people are starting to think they want to get settled in before the holidays. And so what we are doing is right now we are getting a lot of people pre-approved for home loans. Inventory has ticked up a little bit. It has been down, but it's rebounding a little bit. And right now is a good time to buy.
Chip, real quick before I let you go, tell people how they can reach you. And if someone is interested in your business, how would they reach out to you?
Well, sure. At Lincoln Home Loans, you can reach me at 615-500-7579. My URL, for my application page is chipward.net, and my email address is simply chip@chipward.net. And so I'd love to hear from anybody. I can answer any questions about the whole home buying and financing process.
Final segment of this first hour on a Thursday. We've got Underdog picks coming up with another loaded weekend of college football. But first, stat of the day brought to you by John English Antique Sports and Cards in Shelbyville. You can find them at 204 East Depot Street. They're open during the week, Tuesday through Friday from noon to 5, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5. Give them a call. That's 931-492-4304. And let's see what Matthew's got cooked up for us today. Yesterday, Jose Altuve became the second player to hit 25 postseason home runs in MLB history. Who is the only other player to hit at least 25 career postseason home runs?
Wow. I did not realize.
That's a ridiculous
25 in postseason.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dad gum. You want to have some fun with this one, Kelly?
Please do.
Yeah, let's dump it in Chase McCabe's lap.
Let's do it.
1025, the game program director, nicknamed the Suit, although it doesn't appear he has a suit on. Chase, how are you?
I'm doing well, George. Kelly, good to see you.
What is the correct answer?
I'm sitting here. I had the same reaction you two did. Of going like,
ooh, crap.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'd love to say Chipper and be right, but I don't think that's right.
Well, okay, let's think about this for a minute, because
is it a Yankee?
Well, that'd be the easy one to go with, but think about this, because I think you're on to something. The Braves were in 14 postseasons in a row as division champion in the 90s. And so I'm with you that it is coming from Atlanta. And if it's coming from Atlanta, who else would it be? But
it would be Chipper.
Not that we really care, but Kelly, do we have your approval to go with Chipper?
I do. That's the only Brave I would think of. I was thinking of Yankee too, but I don't know. Yeah, Chipper Jones. Let's do it.
Jeter wasn't really a big home run
guy.
That's who I was thinking. Yeah,
Reggie had the big explosion, but there weren't a bunch of postseasons where he got it done. Let's go with Chipper.
All right, Chipper Jones. Final answer. It is
Manny Ramirez. Wow.
Kind of a surprising one, although he was pretty darn good.
It is, but it isn't. It's surprising, but it's also, now that you put it up there, it's like, okay.
We can see it.
Concede.
We can see it clearly now. The rain is gone. Where's Pogue, by the way?
Who knows?
Does he know how to use this kind of technology?
Somehow he does. He's been able to get on pretty consistently.
Right.
Without issue, but I don't see him today, but I texted him, so.
You think he'll be on here soon?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Chase, when did you get this big promotion, big dog?
Almost 2 years ago.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know. See, I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't. They just started calling you the Suit. I figured.
Well, Darren gave me that name, the Suit. When I initially got promoted, and it just kind of stuck.
Oh wow, my bad. Sorry.
No, it's.
I've been under a rock. Sorry.
Have you ever showed up in a suit one day, Chase?
I've shown up in a sport coat. I was wearing a suit last night because I went on TV, so I wore a suit. So the suit was finally in a suit.
On TV with whom?
Jill Jelnick from Fox 17.
Oh, yes. We've got quite a cozy relationship with them, don't we?
We like Fox 17.
Yeah. Okay.
Do a good job. You did a show there once.
For 9 years, which is 8 more than I ever dreamed they'd put up with. Okay. First of all, do we have any Any word from Pogue?
No word from Pogue.
Nothing.
George, this is starting to fall apart, Hoss. I mean, like, what are we doing? Like,
See,
I mean,
the last
Billy,
time I did this, Darren was a part of it. So what? I mean, I guess he's doing a show, so he's a little busy.
Right. That sort of into that. Tell us exactly how Willy told you that he would not be available today. I mean, is this a deal where Madison Square Garden won't allow him?
You know Willy very well, as you gave him his start. I received a text message from Willy at 1:59 p.m. a little over an hour ago, saying, "Can you do Underdog picks with Plaz at 3? I'll be on the bus."
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's got a smartphone, I assume, so he could do it on the bus. I mean, it's not that important to him.
I don't think he'd want Philip Forsberg knowing that he's picking, Auburn.
I don't think I would care. I don't care if Philip Forsberg knows or not.
That's a pretty late.
Sit back there in your seat and leave me alone.
Oh, I'm used to it. I'm surprised it was an hour before and not 10 minutes before.
Right. So Kelly wants to begin impeachment proceedings.
Oh, absolutely. He gets no warning, dude. He needs to be gone.
I think it's a little early.
Chase did a much better job. He did a much better job this morning this afternoon on 1025 when he was the commissioner today. So
it moves a little.
It does. I mean, if Willy just went off under a rock anymore, I don't think anybody would care.
Well, but I think you've got to be able, though, you have to acknowledge that he got in who the people went after quicker than Chase did.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay.
I forgot.
So while we await Pogue coming out of a cave somewhere, should we review last week's losers?
Let's review. We've got one winner from last week.
Oh, Willy.
It was Willy. So
gracious.
Chase representing a winner today. Colorado State won off the Hail Mary against Boise State.
Yeah, and when I realized yesterday, when I went back and looked, that Willy won on that greasy play at the end, I wanted to puke. Chase, I don't know if you know what happened, but they were up
pretty big.
Boise was up way into double digits with 6 minutes left in the game and just collapsed. And on the final play of the game, they heave it up, and the defensive back started down the process of doing what needed to be done to bat the ball down, but he didn't bat it enough, and the receiver makes this shoestring deal, and that's when I did go puke.
I did not see it, but that would make me puke too.
Well,
I've told y'all this before. Defensive coordinators, man, Hail Marys. Like, if he has an opportunity to throw the football, it's a 50-50 ball. Why not go smash him into the ground and be done with the game?
And it's always on the tip. It's never, the first guy that touches it on that catch. So it's always on the tip.
Right. But they're 46 people, in a very confined space. So what do you expect?
But you never know where the ball's going to bounce. So
that's a Hail Mary.
I know where the ball is going to bounce. It's going to bounce on the turf after I put the quarterback's face in the ground. That's what's going to happen I'm going to blitz him on there. I'm not doing all that.
You've talked tough here, but I don't remember any pro teams trotting you out there to be a defender at the end of the game.
I agree. I totally agree, man. But I'm a Monday morning quarterback when it comes to defensive football, so I get it.
I know that they would have used Tim Couch.
Oh,
low blow.
Save it, George.
Did they have you run any quarterback sneaks? The tush push?
No, I didn't have a tush push. I broke my leg on a quarterback sneak. That's the worst play in the history of the game.
I know. You've said that before.
It's ridiculous.
Well, the other three, Greg, George, and Kelly, all suffered losses. Army just didn't even show up. They got shut out 19-0. And then
Do you think that's why Pogue isn't with us?
It could be.
The embarrassment of being shut out.
He's so humiliated he didn't even want to show up.
Wow.
And then Memphis lost. Was that Friday night, George?
Yes, it was, and I watched it.
Sections available.
I kept yelling, "I'm a former Tiger. Help me." The fact that I was only there 12 hours shouldn't have mattered.
I don't think that registered with Memphis.
No.
Do you have any old calls of your Memphis State days?
Do you know that I
man.
do?
Oh.
My dad, when he was alive, would tape all of my games, and about a year ago, I found one.
Nice.
With the proud going to the break. This is the Memphis State Tiger Football Network.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly,
if
Michigan
anybody wants
State
to buy them, they're available.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah. What about Michigan State, Billy? 24
Michigan
to
State
6.
Lost 27-24.
Yeah, they've got the Colorado. Yeah, they've got the Colorado syndrome. They were up 24-6 and then get beat 27-24 by ruptures, son. Who gets beat by ruptures? Good gracious. It's terrible.
So you're bitter.
Oh, I'm real bitter. I mean, one of the big, one of the blue bloods of the, I guess you could call Michigan State a blue blood of the Big Ten, but you get beat by Rutgers. Like, nobody even knows where Rutgers is. I know where Rutgers is, but nobody knows where it is.
Officially, it's in Piscataway.
Piscataway.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Current standings.
Oh, God.
Willie rises to the top, but he was already at the top, but now he's at 21.5 points. Kelly in second.
We'll see how long that lasts when we get rid of him.
Oh, so impeachment request.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm starting to lean toward Kelly a little. And Pogue,
especially because Willie's
Pogue
up at the
is
top.
in deep probation at the moment.
And now he's not even here.
This is
we've got some serious issues.
Well,
right
we
now.
do. We do.
And you know who I blame it on, Billy?
Who?
You.
Commissioner.
You're blaming this on me?
I knew that was coming.
Absolutely. For Pogue not to show up and for Willie to be gone, I'd rather have Chase on the show anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But for Pogue not to be here, that's specifically on you.
Here's some things in Chase's favor. Number one, he's got his own microphone, and that looks cool.
Quality, yeah.
Secondly, there's actually lighting as opposed
lighting.
to that cave that Willie is coming out of.
And don't even get me started with Pogue.
Oh.
This is, it's uncalled for.
Pogue's on his motorcycle one week, in his car one week, in a dark room somewhere the next. I mean, good gracious.
The Jerry Glanville of broadcasting.
Well, that's what we've got. So,
oh God,
Chase has a chance to extend not Kelly.
He's
Willie's
got a
lead.
chance in 1 week to surpass my month and a half. So, is there an order?
There is an order.
Okay. Are you prepared to tell us?
I am. We've got Kelly leading off. Greg Pogue, if he shows up, second. George, you'll be third. And then representing Willie Daunic will be Chase McCabe.
What is the alternative plan if Pogue is not available?
I'll make a pick for Pogue.
Oh, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Why wouldn't it count?
Well,
because if you don't text and tell somebody that you're doing, like what you're doing or what you want them to do, you don't get a pick.
So
George, I'll go grab Bud Walters and get him to make a pick.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Here's what I want you to take for Pogue. Virginia.
Have they won a game?
No,
it doesn't feel like it.
Well, they're on their bye week. They can't even beat the bye week.
That's bad when that happens. We will go to the break on this, and then we'll come back. We'll figure out who is in, who is out. The contest has taken on some water today. Stay tuned.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from, and for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5685.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Daunic Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonleyTimmons.com.
The George Plaster Show is Nashville's best sports talk, 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. There's a podcast version available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
If you're watching our show live, it's around 3:20 on a Thursday afternoon. We normally begin the Underdog pick proceedings at 3, but all of a sudden at 3:21, here comes Pogue. Kelly, do you have any questions for Greg?
I mean, where have you been, Pogue? I mean, what are we doing? Like, this is obviously not important to you. It's become not important to Willy, and now what are we doing?
Hi, Pogue.
One of my many places that of my 14 jobs, I drove off without my phone, and I had to turn around and go get my phone.
That's a
so
George,
yeah,
that's a George
yeah.
technique.
So yeah, I've got my phone now. So yeah, I was ready, man. Here's my picks. Look, I'm ready. I've studied, you know. But yeah, but I didn't have a phone.
Week ago?
You know, I'm right over here on Murfreesboro Road across from Cromwell, Willie. If I can check in, I can just do it from there.
Well, Willie's not here. Chase is here.
Oh, is it Chase? Oh my gosh, I better be quiet.
Astute.
I am seriously sitting in the Una Baptist Church, right across from. Yep. So
That's
no, I
Una.
apologize. No, I didn't. I was out here doing something in this area, and I just drove off without my phone. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Well, let me say on behalf of the entire group how thrilled we are to have you.
And I'm thrilled to be here, George. It really is.
Yeah. I can tell you are. So we reviewed your pick from last week, the first time that anyone has been shut out as far as their team not scoring at all. So congratulations.
Yet another reason to leave my phone at home.
Good point. Okay, what is the order of business, Billy?
Order of business? Leading off, George Plaster?
No, that is
Oh,
not true.
my bad.
That's
Leading
like
off.
every other week.
No,
he
my
leads
bad.
off.
My bad.
Like,
Leading off.
Hey, Billy, can I ask you this? Like, how are we coming up with this 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff? Like, are you just throwing darts at something? Because last week I felt like I was third, and now I'm first. Like, what are we doing?
Relax.
You were
Kelly.
fourth. You were fourth.
All right, leading off, Kelly Holcomb this week.
Well, does he get music?
He does. Get music.
See, I'll be honest. I think right now, as commissioner, you're taking on a lot of water. You're rattled.
He is rattled. He is rattled. You need to take a deep breath and let me get out from underneath your skin and just relax, Billy. It's okay.
How is Kelly so good?
Are you rattled?
I can't even hear the music, Billy.
That hot old summer sun make you beg for your next breath.
All right, Kelly, what do we got?
Oh, that was wonderful.
Well, yeah, that was real wonderful, Billy. You really sensationalized that. That's awesome. I really want to piss George and Chase off with the UAB Memphis pick, but since Willy won this past week, which on that, like I'm with George on that pathetic play, I think I'm going to take my game that I took earlier in the day. I want to say Eastern Michigan beats Northern Illinois.
Wow.
He doubles up.
Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, it's on HGTV Saturday.
HGTV.
Will there be a pregame, George?
Not on radio, no. No.
Oh, George, go ahead. They only have a stadium on one side. Go ahead with your other joke you always do.
Look, for somebody
Pogue
who
is
showed
upset.
up 20 minutes late, you're in no position to take any
Hey,
shots
listen.
at
Hey,
anybody.
well, actually, I'm probably more irritable right now than I've ever been with you,
can
George.
tell.
So you know,
Let me
no,
say
I'm
this.
fine.
Kelly wanted you thrown out.
Well, Kelly,
did.
that's man, that's just harsh. Really.
Well, now-
I mean,
now that I
you
think
didn't
about
even
it, not so
know. I
much-
mean, I could have been
I know.
bleeding on the side of the road and throw his ass out. My God.
But you weren't, so we're good with that. But you weren't. You know, not so much you now that you're on here, not so much you, but Willy's got to go. Like Willy needs to be gone. He doesn't get in a fence. He's got to go.
He's got to get better lighting.
Yeah.
All right. So Kelly riding with Eastern Michigan, getting 12.5 against Northern Illinois.
Are they in a conference?
Who knows? All right. Up next, Greg Pogue.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm.
Where life is beautiful. Oh, yeah.
What do we got, Pogue?
A padded room. I'm going to go with Auburn, plus the 6.5 at home against Ole Miss. I'm not totally buying Ole Miss just yet. Auburn's been up, down, and sideways, but I mean, you know, they've played Georgia, they played LSU, I'm not sold on Jackson Dart yet, so I'm taking the home Auburn Tigers. Is that plus 6.5? Is what I saw earlier.
Yes, it is.
Oh, give me the War Eagle.
War Eagle, baby.
All right, so Pogue saying War Eagle taking the Auburn. How does Auburn Tigers plus 6.5 against Ole Miss? All right, up next, George Plaster.
Not this year.
This is a book it. This one's going to
wow.
work.
Woo!
Fine. Show up on time. You can take all the shots you want. I'm going Miami.
Wow.
Dang it.
Not a lot of meat on the bone, but Miami's going to beat Clemson.
Not a ton of meat there. Plus 3 for Miami.
I think the Eastern Michigan bet's stupid.
Kelly, I know how you feel now when your pick gets taken.
I didn't ask you for your opinion, George, but thanks.
They don't even have a pregame show.
It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get back in the contest in that other one. I mean, I know you've just given up because that's your personality, but I'm not that way. You're a quitter.
Yeah, you take the 3, George.
Yes, I'm taking Miami. I made that clear a minute ago. Are you hard of hearing?
This is a wide margin here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Rome wasn't lost in a day. It's taken a good half year.
All right. So George riding with Miami plus 3 at home against Clemson.
Chase, I hope you take Virginia.
Not taking Virginia.
Willie would deserve that.
And in for Willy Daunic is Chase McCabe.
Whose music comes out of this? I mean,
Willie.
Chase, why? He's not even here. To hell with him.
Well, Chase is representing Willie.
Oh, okay.
But
if Chase wants his own music, give him his own music. Come on, man.
We haven't discussed this, so I don't even know.
You weren't asked, right?
That's true.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Chase McCabe.
Meet the Mets.
Oh, this is awful.
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed.
Well, Saturday night, I will be watching this game from a lovely sports book in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, really? Is there a suit convention?
There might be. We'll be playing a little blackjack.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So the director would approve of that.
Okay.
I am going to go with Utah plus 7 against USC. I am not convinced on USC. I'm convinced on the quarterback, but I'm not convinced on the team as a whole. So give me Utah plus the 7.
Okay.
I think we've got 3 really intelligent picks out of these 4. I think Auburn's really solid. Miami's going to win. I think there's a real shot that Utah is going to win. And, Eastern Michigan, I don't know. They've got this weird-looking turf, kind of a gray turf.
That's disgusting.
They don't have a pregame show. I mean,
George, you've won 1 game out of the 2 contests you're on. So what are you talking about? I mean, do you have the authority to make that decision? No. I mean, let it go, dude.
Even keel approach from Kelly.
Is this where we now review?
This is where we review.
George hadn't won the silly underdog pick in 20 years. So what's he talking about?
The contest he invented.
He invented it and he hadn't won it.
He's trying to rattle your cage, Kelly.
Well, and he had to spawn 5 others of them to try to win at least 1 a year of the 5.
Spawn.
He's got a point. I birthed the real one.
Yes.
All right, let's do a little review. Kelly leading us off with Eastern Michigan minus or plus 12.5 against NIU.
It's not going to work.
Greg Pogue takes the Auburn Tigers at home against Ole Miss, the Hugh Freeze Bowl. Tigers getting 6.5 there. George riding with Miami at home against Clemson, getting 3. And then Chase in for Willie takes Utah plus the 7 over USC. Gentlemen, good luck with your picks this weekend.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, hey, hold on a second. I'm sitting in the Una Baptist parking lot here. Yes. Yeah, I'm on with George Plaster right now. Yes. Yeah. Caller number 3. Yeah, you owe this guy 4 Predators tickets.
Get the flagship station to take care of that.
Hey, tell that cat not to hold his breath.
Father Brown, Kelly said, "Not hold your breath."
If it's a priest, you might be able to work something out.
You know, what's funny, George, not only did you have to, come up with 5 different iterations of this contest, but you even had to have a meeting with a former general manager of yours to explain why you should be on the contest you invented. So there's been a lot of that over the years.
Whoa, I think you need another one then.
You know,
can you stand 8? What do you got over there? 7 right now?
The sad thing is the story that Chase just laid out there is true.
It is true.
Yes, it's true. Chase, first of all, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you. I need to find out more about the Vegas deal.
We will discuss.
I'll ask one question here on air. Did you, out of your pocket, pay for the airline ticket?
I did, but not the hotel room.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's fair. Pogue, thank you for your 8-minute appearance on the show.
Well, it's been sort of like the Kentucky Derby, the best 2 minutes in sports.
Guys, have a good week. Chase, call me later. I want to know what this is all about.
I will.
Pogue, behave.
I'll call you from the Greek Orthodox Church next week.
You do that. You do that. Okay, we'll go to the break. Kelly, guess what we're going to do when we come back?
Your gift to the people?
Yes.
Plural.
Gifts.
Gifts to the people. Wow.
I can tell you're really excited.
Yeah, no.
All I can say is New Mexico State. We're back after this.
Wow.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458, or visit the website coolspringsmd.com. Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Final segment on a Thursday. We've got some Thursday night football tonight. Preds are in action up in Madison Square Garden. We've got a couple of baseball games. Phillies start in, 20, 30 minutes here? Or is that? Yeah, that's the night game is Rangers-Astros. So a lot of action tonight, and we'll see where George is going. But first, bet of the day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Best in the business. Give them a call, 615-242-9000, or log on to bartdurham.com. First, let's check out what happened last night. Preds got or was it just New Mexico State? It was
just New Mexico State.
Just New Mexico State. Diego Pavia.
Yes. Kelly, did you watch him?
Did not. I saw where it was on, and I said, I'm not giving George the satisfaction. I'm not cutting it over there.
So New Mexico State, which has been one of the real dregs of college football society, hired Jerry Kill, who had been at Minnesota. And some of you will remember he had suffered from seizures and resigned at Minnesota. He apparently has been able, through whatever medication, to get that under control. He's gone to New Mexico State. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They've got a really a guy virtually nobody has heard of at quarterback, Diego Pavia. I saw him a week ago, and I was like, whoa, this kid can really play. And last night he torched UTEP. 28-7 was the final. At UTEP, I didn't know this. UTEP and New Mexico State, their campuses are separated by 40 miles. So that's a big rivalry. I didn't either.
Yeah. I think
big rivalry game.
I think I knew. I think I played last year, and that was a storyline heading into it.
Big rivalry game. Okay, tonight we got 3 plays for you.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one. Billy announced to the world that Trevor Lawrence is playing tonight.
He's playing.
Okay. I don't think he knows one way or the other. But this is an easy way to put the burden on him. If Lawrence doesn't play and I lose, it's all on Billy.
It's all on Billy anyway.
Yeah, he'll have taken on some water. I think Jacksonville's just better. They're better than New Orleans. Now, it worries me that it's at the Superdome. This is not a strong play on my end, but I'm going to go Jacksonville. The next game, 2 really good group
game.
of 5 teams. If you haven't seen either one of these, it's worth tuning in tonight. James Madison has 1 loss on the year. The Marshall Plan, I think, got beat a week ago, but the game is at Marshall. And so I'm taking them plus the points. This will be a close game. This will be a hard-fought game. And I think Marshall is going to eke out a cover in it.
Good coach, Charles Huff, I think, former Alabama assistant, I want to say, at Marshall.
At Marshall, yeah.
And then James Madison, I mean, how new are they at the Power 5
Yeah,
level?
but James Madison's really good. I saw them up close and personal when they played Troy. They came down there and they beat us by 2, and Troy missed a field goal at the end to win it. But James Madison is very well coached, and they got good players.
The third one might come as a surprise to you. What I have seen of Rice is a much better product than you're used to hearing about.
Mm-hmm.
Rice has always been way down in college football. This guy has come in and he's done a better job. I'm not saying they're world beaters, but they are not the punching bag that Rice has always been. Tulsa, on the other hand, I think their program has gone way down. And even though the game is at Tulsa, I think Rice covers. 3 really tough picks tonight, Kelly. I'll take 2 out of 3 and never play.
I think you're going to lose 2 out of 3, George. I really do.
Uh-huh. And
I think the James Madison game is they're really good. I don't know if Marshall's that good, but it is at Marshall. That's a tough place to play. I played there. I had an 83-year-old woman with no teeth in her head cussing me out on the sideline, which was great. That was awesome. And then I don't know about the Jacksonville game, man. I think the Saints are, defensively they're pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, look, it's going to, all 3 of them are going to be tough, but we're going to get our share, Kelly.
Yes, gifts to the people, as you say.
No question they are. So here's a gift to the people. You won't be with us tomorrow.
I just set you up for that one, didn't I?
Oh, it was so easy.
That's great.
But let me tell people where we will be tomorrow. We'll be on the campus of Lipscomb Academy. They play Brentwood Academy tomorrow night. 2 teams that have had tough seasons, but there are a bunch of D1 prospects in this game, correct?
No, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you saw Trent Dilfer last year with Lipscomb Academy, and BA traditionally is a power. A little down this year, but they've got a quarterback that's pretty solid, and he's going to be playing on Saturdays. So a lot of talent and a lot of younger, sophomores and juniors that'll be really good too.
We'll begin the show after the pep band plays with a former Titan, one of the most respected Tennessee Titans to ever wear the uniform, and offensive lineman Kevin Mawai, a terrific guy. When we dealt with him media-wise as a Titan, he was a lot of fun to deal with. I'm looking forward to meeting up with him tomorrow. Just trying to think where else I was going to go with this. So the show will originate tomorrow from Lipscomb Academy at Acuff, and I want to use, I don't know if it's Hall or Chapel, but what you will see tomorrow looks very much like the legendary Ryman Auditorium. The facility we will be in tomorrow is 65 years old. And when I got to walk in it 2 days ago, I was like, this is where we want to be. So tune us in tomorrow for what ought to be a fun show. High school exclusively during the 2 to 3 o'clock hour. Then we'll get to all of the college and the pro stuff in the 3 o'clock. Watson Brown will join us with some of his opinions and also maybe a little bit of analyzing his brother's undefeated North Carolina Tar Heels. And it looks like they're going to stay that way for a while. Kelly, we'll see you again on Monday.
Lord willing, man. See y'all.
Bingo. All of you have a great Thursday night. Enjoy your football. We'll see you tomorrow.